Eric.
Hello.
I have no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But we're live.
We're gone.
No, we're not live. It's just us.
No, but we're being recorded. Everything you say now may be used against you.
It will be. Yeah, anything can be cut, so don't worry if you get too into your personal life and all that stuff.
You know, I always feel like as I don't take myself too serious, I'm a bit of an idiot, then anything will do, it can't go wrong.
What do you mean?
I kind of don't take myself too seriously, so
yeah.
If I say something stupid, fine.
Just say it was a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the idea you wanted to talk about anyway?
The idea was mainly to talk about being a musician.
Oh, right. Okay.
So let's start with that. Let's do like interview style and then...
Yeah. Well, no. We should just share opinions. And so, what do you think is the best idea, the best deal with being a musician, apart from the obvious?
Wait, the best thing about being a musician?
Yeah.
Oh, right. What's the obvious?
Well, the cliche would be that, you get your money for nothing and your chicks for free,
Yeah.
But that's not really true, is it? Depends on who you are, maybe.
You're asking,
yeah.
No. Well, the best things about being a musician. I mean, if you are like us, obviously we love music.
Yeah.
And we get to do that. And if you do something you love, I don't know, I feel like we're different in that way, that I feel like maybe I'm wrong, but you seem like someone to me that's like, you love music so much that I feel like it never feels like work to you. Or does it sometimes feel like work?
Well, for example, yesterday I died. I had a gig and I died, when the audience stopped clapping. Yeah. And you died. And then it's not so much fun and love and passion anymore. Then it's just basically dire.
It's like I always say that about being a musician is like one day you feel like a hero. Yeah. And the next day you feel like the biggest loser.
Completely down.
You're completely down.
That sense of being judged as well, that always gets to me a bit, You start your gig and you being completely scrutinized by everybody, like what you wear, how you look, what's your first sentence, when's the first joke, is it funny or not, Yeah. And I don't know what it was yesterday, but obviously I didn't have what they were hoping for. And so after 3 songs or so, they stopped clapping, and then you have to go.
And they'd already started clapping for the first 3, and then they bailed. Then they slowly tailed off. It's even worse.
And that's horrible.
It's better just to be ignored from the beginning.
It's going to be a long gig.
Yeah.
And that's always an interesting thing, actually. I always find, because you always start a gig thinking, I want to make these people happy. That's my job. Yeah. And then usually it happens. Usually it works fine, and then the job is a good one. But when it doesn't happen, and you bomb, I think you say in English, no? You bomb.
Yeah, people say it about comedy, like bombing. But I guess it's the same
comedy.
for music. Yeah, okay. Just going wrong.
It just goes wrong. Then there is a moment, because you panic. You go, shit, they're not liking me, Yeah. But then there is always a moment that there's a switch, and then I don't know if I'm not supposed to swear, of course, no?
Swear.
Yeah, okay. Then the little voice in my head says, fuck it.
Yeah. And
then I just play. Because then indeed I go to the music and I think, well, if they don't like it, at least I like the music I play. And then it often turns around again. Yeah. Because you stop trying, and you stop trying to, hello, I'm lovely, please love me, that kind of thing. Yeah. And then you just play, and then people are like, oh, that's actually all right.
I guess it's like anything in life. If you go into a conversation, say you meet someone and your attitude is like, oh, like me, please like me, it's going to feel weird. You meet people like that and it's like,
off-putting, isn't it?
You can't relax.
No.
But if you just like, okay, this is me, whether you like it or not. Yeah. I think people like that and they appreciate it in general. Yeah. Obviously, some people just won't like you, but that's okay. Like, not everyone's going to like you, as long as you're honest about who you are.
Yeah, I know.
And then you quickly find out the people you want in your life. And with music, you find out the people that like you and your music. Like, you don't want people there. I guess it's a balance, because I was going to say you don't want people there that don't like you for who you are. Yeah. But then again, you're still doing a job. Like, you're still working. You don't want to just like offend everyone and say something really bad and make everyone leave or something like. Not that you would.
That's a danger as well, isn't it? You get angry at the audience sometimes.
People are ignoring you, and you're like, oh.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. But then I always think it's worse.
Who peeled in your bowl of cornflakes this morning? Remember that one?
Yeah. But I think it is bigger in your own head in those situations, like when you say you're getting ignored, for example. Yeah. I think people are just talking, they're just getting on with things. In your head, you're like, they're ignoring me. Yeah. But in reality, they're just having their dinner, or they're just talking.
I did have the worst experience the other day. I was in a place, and I was about to start, and as soon as I was about to start, they said, no, put the footy on.
Oh no.
Really.
Oh my god.
And I realize now that it wasn't actually me starting. It was because the program changed. Because the TV was on and there was football on, and it was quiet. I had to play.
Yeah.
But there was a big game, and some people wanted to watch. And I think it switched to the wrong channel or so. But it was right at that moment.
Okay.
But then I really felt how rude. I thought that is really just as wrong.
Yeah.
You know?
they weren't talking about you.
No. But I thought they did.
Oh my god.
And so I got really natty. I got angry actually. I was really a bit like, that is not on. You should not do that to people. That is just disrespectful,
no,
you know?
bad.
So I started to yap back at them, and then they were a bit like, what is he on about, you know?
And did they explain?
No, it's just later. I just got it myself. Yeah. Put the footy on. Oh wow.
No.
Yeah, that was a weird moment.
Yeah. How long have you been like playing music for?
Playing music.
Like when did you start? Yeah, when did you start playing music?
I started with 13.
When you're 13.
And
how old are you now?
55.
Wow.
Shit me.
Yeah.
Wow.
So over 30 years.
Yeah.
33 years.
Yeah. But it's hours, eh? It's not years, eh?
No, but I mean,
You can
know how many
play the
hours you
guitar
played
for
music?
50 years, but if you only play 1 hour
if
every
you
month,
started when but you've played like pretty consistently, no? Since when you started.
I was 27 when I kind of went full on.
Yeah.
And then when I didn't stop playing anymore, it was just playing.
That was when you came here.
Yeah.
27.
Oh, a little bit before. I
Okay.
already did it in Holland. But it's great. It was really nice. I used to do all kinds of jobs because, in my time, it was basically music was a hobby. It was not a work. It was like something you do in the weekend with a bunch of friends, but it's not like you can make a living out of that. Very few do in Holland. So in order to take it seriously, I had to go out of Holland as well.
Yeah.
I had to leave.
Because in Holland it was like just weekend
Yeah,
and very rare.
There's hardly any work.
Yeah.
So
It's crazy here how much work there is.
Yeah.
It's like every day.
Corralejo is a beehive, isn't it?
It's amazing, yeah.
It is,
it's amazing.
Yeah.
There aren't many, there probably are the places, but there aren't many where you can play like every day if you want to.
Yeah.
On a Monday afternoon.
Well, that's my kind of type of idea. I love to play every day.
Yeah, you do. That's what I was saying earlier about the work thing. Like, I definitely get, like, I did 5 gigs in 3 days this week. And Saturday I was off, so I did Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And I woke up Saturday like, oh, what do I have to do? Like, where do I have to play today? And I was like, oh, I don't have to play. And I was like, oh, like, relaxed.
That's also good. Yeah,
it's
that's
nice to
true.
have a day off as well. For me, I just feel like from the outside, I might be wrong, but I feel like you're just like, you've got like endless energy for
it
playing.
seems to be the center of my life.
Yeah.
It's like everything revolves. And that's why, for example, a bad gig is really bad because the whole day next, you can't get over it until you had another gig, which was okay again.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is,
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But I love gigging, but I definitely do get like, I can get burnt out.
Yeah.
Like when I first came here, I was so excited about playing and I wanted to play a lot.
Yeah,
I played too much, and then I don't know, like, because it's performing and you're entertaining, there's an element of like having to enjoy it, obviously.
Yeah.
If you're doing it and you're knackered and you're like, oh, I just want to finish, you can't do your job properly. You have to enjoy it on some level, and you have to be in it. The more in it you are, the better you do.
You can't get knackered during a gig because you get the buzz.
That's what I mean. This is the difference. I can get knackered.
Okay.
Yeah. I can get knackered, and then I can get the buzz from it. But I can do so much that I get exhausted from it, and I can't sort of get out. You know, where you're just so tired that you can't get the energy to perform properly, and then it's like this downward spiral because you're like, you feel guilty. You're like, oh, I can't perform. Everyone can see that I'm tired. Then you sort of feel like, again, like judged, and you're like, oh, now I'm letting everyone down.
You get a negative spiral.
I feel like I'm letting people down. I want to be on the ball.
But I always get energy from playing. I can be knackered when I start, but as soon as I start playing, I get up. I get it like it's like a drug, you know. It is it has to do a bit with the attention. I think the attention is important. If you don't get the attention, then it can be a long gig. No, but even then, I still. Because yesterday they had to tell me to stop playing because I was still playing and there was hardly anybody left in the room.
Oh, really?
I played the place empty, you know. I shouldn't say this. It's not very good publicity for me, you know.
Stop playing. We need
You want an empty bar? Call me.
Eric Sijpestijn. No, but I know what you mean. I definitely start gigs sometimes. Actually, it's funny. Tasia and I, you know Tasia.
Yeah.
We often say like when we're feeling like least up for a gig are the ones that actually go the best because your expectation is lower.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're like, I don't know, like maybe it's not very busy, or people are talking, you're like, it's not going to be a good gig. You start and it ends up being okay.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh my God, it's okay. And then it starts being great because you've exceeded the expectation.
Expectations are bastard, huh?
Yeah.
It's a really hard one because you can't just not switch it off. You can't just say, I won't have any expectations with it. You do, you can't help it, you know. You just hope that it goes well. And especially when it's like a new gig or a special one, something that you don't do regularly, then you're nervous and the attention is, and the expectation is there.
Yeah.
But try not to focus on it, I guess. No, that's the idea, right?
Yeah, they say, I don't know if it's like my philosophy, but some people say like lowering your expectations is the key to happiness.
Yeah.
I think having too much expectation is definitely bad. But then again, I think you sort of, in life, you often meet your expectations. Do you know what I mean? Like you sort of, wherever you settle is sort of where you get to sometimes.
Yeah, I think so too.
You know what I
Like you project something in front of you and you go for it.
Yeah.
And that's that. And the same with the gigging.
Uh-huh.
But have you done the same thing? Like you did the gig already before you actually did it in
What do
your
you mean?
head? For example, I had a gig and it was in Germany and I was only to play my own music, which is kind of a groovy thing, you know what I mean? And so I've been practicing all my own stuff and there was only one gig, you know, and it was during a dinner. I think it was a Christmas dinner or something like this.
Yeah.
And so I'd done so much preparation that I already did the whole gig in my head, even my jokes and everything, and how the people reacted. And then it went completely the wrong way.
Really?
It was like, it looks like how all my gigs are bad, but no, it is again. Actually, it wasn't. The gig was fine. It was me, because I had
You had that expectation in your head.
Yeah, it's already like I did it before. Done it.
Do you believe in this sort of like concept of like manifestation and like the law of attraction? Like what you believe will happen will eventually come into your life?
No.
No.
No. I think we do the best we can, but life happens as we plan as well. And you just have to adapt to things that come your way.
Yeah.
And just to the best possible way. I think that's where the trick is.
I
just
think
adapt.
I definitely don't believe it like literally like you imagine it hard enough and it happens. But I think it does influence you in a way that if
Well, you
you've
do
got
plan,
like you
of
set your
course.
mind on something and you visualize it, almost increase the chance it happens. Like you figure things out almost subconsciously, you know? Like
But you have a direction. You think that's where I want to go. That's the direction I want to go. But it doesn't mean that you can straight away jump into it. You're going to have to do quite a few detours, I think, sometimes, you know?
well, I'll give you an example. When I was maybe like 15, 16,
Yeah.
I like read one of these books, like the law of attraction and stuff. So I was like, I'm going to try it, you know? So every day for like 10 minutes, I'd sit down, I'd like visualize what I want. And one day I was sitting down visualizing, I can't remember what, but I needed some money to buy something. Maybe it was like guitar or something, but I needed like a couple £100. And obviously I didn't have it. And I was sitting there doing this kind of like meditation, like, I want this money, you know? And I promise you, this is exactly how it happened. Yeah, I was sitting there and I was facing my mirror, but my eyes were closed. And when I finished the meditation, thinking like, visualizing this £200 that I wanted, I opened my eyes, and in the mirror, like the first thing I saw, and this is not planned, like I didn't know this, I saw a envelope on like the shelf at the bottom of my bed in the mirror, so like behind me, you know? And I was like, I just went over to it and I opened it, and in it was Christmas money from like a year ago. And like, and it was like the exact, I don't know if it was the exact to the pound, but it was like £150 or something, you know what I mean? Like money, just there. And I didn't know about it consciously, but maybe in my brain somewhere, I knew about that money. You know what I mean? And like subconsciously,
you
like
kind of remembered it.
Or maybe it was a freak coincidence. But there's been a few things like that I promise, and I've like visualized these things, they've happened. I'm not saying I believe in it, like I've manifested that out of dust.
No, it's
but
not
maybe
like
there's an element of like
the
you know more than you know.
Universal postman gave you the envelope or something like this. No, but then again, remember that there's a lot of times that we think about things and we visualize and nothing happens.
Yeah,
it's often those few moments that it does happen
Stand
that we
out.
go, oh wow,
yeah.
and we put those in a box that we talk about. All the other moments that we don't talk about, you know.
Yeah.
But I do think, of course, you have your idea in life or what you want to do or where you want to go, and you tend to aim all your activities so you can go that way.
Yeah,
and that's cool.
And you figure things out, like.
And you figure things out along the way.
And you notice things that you wouldn't have if you had different goals.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever like you got a car now?
A goal.
You start noticing the
Can you tell me one of your goals?
Any of my goals?
Yeah.
Okay, right now, like my main New Year's resolution goal is I want to build my my own music online. So like have people listen to because obviously like I'm pretty comfortable gigging.
Yeah.
I love gigging. I'm also playing more of my own songs now at gigs. But I really want to like share more of my own music. So I'm going to release more music than ever. So release more music and also try and promote that music as much as possible. So online music.
Cool.
Goal. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. You said so before, online.
What's
Not so online. Sounds
why were you
a bit
asking
weird.
for one of my goals?
No, it's just one of the good things
Just
to
a random.
do, isn't it?
Oh no, I
Yeah.
thought you were going to go on. I thought you were going to like do some like exercise with me. I thought you were going to.
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought you were going to like.
Exercise.
I thought you were going to give me some therapy or something for my goals. Tell me it's wrong.
No, because you're already doing it. You're doing good in that. You're in that field. You're on the road.
I'm trying, yeah, but it's like, yeah, trying to figure it out. And like the same thing. I think when you have a goal, I come up with ideas that I wouldn't have had if I, like this visualization thing.
Yeah.
If you've got a certain goal, when you're having a shower, you think, oh, I could do that. But it's only because you're thinking about that goal
True.
that you have those.
Yeah.
And that sort of steers you in that direction.
Yeah.
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 It doesn't mean it's going to happen. Even if I visualize, I've got 1 million people listening to my music, it doesn't mean it's going to happen. But it means maybe my mind will work more to make that happen.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Uh-huh. Sorry,
Yeah.
I was just drifting away. You can see it in my eyes, can't you? All of a sudden
I thought you were thinking about something.
I was thinking about the amount of people, because that's another thing, popularity,
Uh-huh.
I've often found that in places where there's lots of people, I don't perform really well. And also, I find that being or feeling popular doesn't do my persona very much good.
Okay.
I often work better when I have to fight for something or when it's just on a small crowd-based level.
Okay.
Sounds, yeah, and I don't quite know why. I can't explain to you why. Because you, for example, when you go for the online music online, you hope to reach as many people as possible.
I guess, yeah, I'd be super happy if loads of people heard my music.
Yeah.
But I think more than that, when someone that already knows my music says to me, I really like that song and I really like the lyrics, and they hear it and they listen to, like, for example, at Sunset the other day, I finished playing the gig and it was a good gig, and I was packing stuff away, and there's this couple, like young couple like my age, sitting at like the back of Sunset, like out the back. There's like that extra bit.
Yeah.
And they were like, hey, and they were like, I heard your song Lifetime Memories, and we really like it. We heard it come up on Spotify. No, they said they heard it and they Shazammed it. You know Shazam?
Yeah.
Sorry, you're a boomer. So
Yeah, well, yeah.
you're like, yeah, I know Shazam.
Yeah.
So they Shazammed it.
It's not
And then they were like,
copy of verb.
They
Come on, let's
Shazammed it.
Yeah.
What do? They did the Shazam.
Yeah,
That's
whatever.
boomer.
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh, and we found you online. I don't know how it works, because obviously they were here in Fuerteventura. Maybe they heard their friend playing. I don't know. They didn't tell me where. I should have asked. And they were like, we really love the song. Like, it's such a nice song. And they were saying how much they liked the words and stuff. And that meant so much. And that's
It's
one
beautiful.
person, and that's that means, and people have said stuff like that to me, and it's one, and that means as much as like 1,000 streams or something. But if it's 1,000 strangers that listen, it feels nice as well. Like if your stats are going up and people are listening.
Yeah.
But it's also like about the connection, not just the popularity. Like the goal isn't to have like as many people listen as possible. It's to have people that really care,
Yeah.
Like if you've got 100 people that really care, like you with your live streams, you've got like a handful of people that really care and really like your stuff. That's really powerful, and it's really meaningful.
Yeah.
It's better than having 1,000 strangers just listen once.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Have you heard of this concept of 1,000 true fans? So there's this concept, it's like a marketing concept of having like 1,000 people that really care about the things that you do. Yeah. So you shouldn't be aiming for having like 1 million people listening to your stuff or whatever you do. If you're an artist, 1 million people loving your art, like Banksy or something. It's more healthy, probably, and also more realistic to have less people, but they really care and they really connect with your stuff.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And you develop a relationship with them, like almost like a friendship. You don't have to be. This fan feels a bit weird to be like 1,000 true fans, but like 1,000 people that really care about you.
Sounds like a lot though, doesn't it?
1,000 is still a lot.
Yeah.
It's still a lot.
Yeah.
But that's like, I think the idea is that that's more of a healthy and realistic goal than having like 1 million fans.
Yeah, I guess
Do you know
so.
what I mean?
Yeah. things must get weird when it goes to the millions.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't know.
When you say like you don't deal with popularity well, what's happened in your experience with that?
It's almost like you become an actor when there's a big group. You understand? And it's like I lose contact with myself. I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah, and it's less real.
It's not as authentic.
Yeah.
I'd get that with like playing at Rock Island, for example. I like the intimacy. Like
Yeah.
you can look at everyone.
Yeah.
You can hear everyone can hear you. You can if you want, you can sort of point out anyone and talk to them.
And talk to them. Yeah.
It's like a small group. And again, they really, I mean, most nights Rock Island is nice, and they really seem to care. If you're playing like a big, you know, I guess neither of us. I don't know. I don't know if you played like to a giant audience. You played like one of the festivals here, for example.
Yeah, for example,
you can't connect in the same way.
It's some big stage, and then there's this massive group of people, and it just becomes that. And indeed, like you say, this anonymous crowd, and you do talk and you do experience, and you're fine, and it's there, but it's almost like a dream, you know. And it is it's just not the way I like to be.
My like style of performing is different at Sunset Lounge to Rock Island, for example.
Yes, of course.
At Sunset, I'm much more like, "Hey guys, how you doing today?" Like projecting more. And at Rock Island, I feel like I'm just talking, you know. But I like both. They're just different.
That's
It's a
kind of
different
cool
amount of
about
people.
playing in different places, because you kind of adapt as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't like the word chameleon, but it is adapting. It is definitely you look what is necessary, and then you give it.
You have
know?
and you have to do a lot of those before you're comfortable doing it.
The other day, I asked for a private party, and so I took all my gear, and I walked in with all my cases and blah, 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 and it was just a bunch of people around the pool, you know, around the table, actually.
Okay.
It was 6 or so.
Okay.
6, 8. And then so you go, come on, I'm not going to set up now. This is stupid, you know, because it feels all wrong. So you just grab the guitar and you sit amongst them and you say, like, come on, let's sing a song, you know?
Okay, yeah.
I
I had a similar experience. I turned up to a private party recently. I did 2 actually, fairly recently. Actually, do you know Gary and Lewis, the photographers? No, anyway. I did one for them because they're friends. And it was only a few people, but I still set up the equipment. It just felt, it's just the routine. Do you know what I mean? It still felt like the right thing to do. And also I'm just more comfortable doing that, I think. Obviously, I've played before with friends, like in a circle, like you say, but it's not like, I don't know. I think I'd feel vulnerable. Maybe I should do it next time.
It is quite scary. It's more scary to sit there with an acoustic guitar and strum away and sing songs.
No effects.
And because there's no hiding. That's true. And
but it's natural as well.
But it is natural, and it yields really great results, because then people really get the feeling that you become one of them. You know, that is one great big group, campfire group, and that's a wonderful feeling.
I tell you what, I would find strange when I started gigging for the first maybe like 2-3 years, I wasn't that comfortable on stage. Like I was sort of thinking, like you said, like what are they thinking about me, or how do I come across, or do they like me, or do they like my singing? They just left. Why did they just leave? You know, like you got all these thoughts.
Yeah.
And I've only just recently, like, I kind of don't mind as much now. If someone leaves, I'm not thinking like, oh, is it because of me? I'm just like, they probably got a dinner plan, or maybe they don't like me, but it's okay. You know what I mean? Like I'm not sort of obsessing over it. And I can't remember the point I was going to make originally now. Oh no, I know what I was going to say. So at those same gigs that I said I was nervous for at first, for example, in Rock Island, 'cause it's quite an intimate gig, everyone watching you. I'd be talking to everyone in the crowd before I got on stage, and I'd just be me, you know? I'd just be talking like I am to you now, and I'd just be myself. And then I'd get on stage and be like, hey guys, my name's Harry, and I'm going to play.
Really?
I wasn't that bad, but I mean, I'd be like, suddenly, now I'm on stage, and now I'm not me. Now I'm like, you know what I mean? Now like me. Like, so it's like, I had the switch of like, oh my God, now there's expectation again, I guess. Now, like, they think I'm going to.
It's funny, strange, and it shouldn't be, but we do.
And
I know what you're saying.
A good example of that as well is, remember that, I've told the story before, but the first day of me going into Rock Island and like jogging past, then Johnny calling me out, and then I went on stage and sang. I was just a stranger at that point, and I was just jogging past, and he picked on me, and I was like, sure, you had to sing if you like. Got on stage. No one had any expectation. Nobody knew me. So I also didn't have any expectation. And I was like, if it goes wrong, I'm just a guy jogging by, like, who cares? You know what I mean? I was thinking, and no one's ever going to see me again, is what I thought. And I was really confident that day. And I remember the people that I was with said to me, like, wow, like, you're really confident performing. And I didn't think about it, because it was just a buzz, like, to be on stage. And Johnny at the end was like, Harry's going to come back tomorrow and play for us. Are you free to come back? And I was like, yeah, I'll come back. And I came back the next day, and he told the story like, oh, yesterday Harry came into the bar and he sang a few songs, and he's like, and he's good and all this, like bigging me up.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh my God, now there's expectation. And I saw some of these faces yesterday, and then I'm on stage thinking, oh my God, like now I've got to perform, and I was so stiff, and I was so self-conscious, and I was a different person, and I was so nervous, because it's like I'm not just the guy jogging past now. I'm like this guy that jogged past and then got on the stage. Now there's this expectation that I have to be good, or that I have to.
Did you get past the fear?
Every time before I went to sing anywhere, whether it was a gig or whether it was just with someone, whether it was with you, like I would be thinking the most, like I'd be so nervous. I'd have to think, one day I'm going to die. Everyone's going to die. Nothing's going to matter. No one's going to remember this. Tomorrow, even if I mess up, those people are not going to think about it. Like, it's not a big deal. There's bigger problems in the world. We're just on a planet in the middle of the stars, like zooming out in my mind.
Wow.
Because I'd be so nervous that I'd have to. No, because I was terrified of performing at first. Wow. Like, really scared.
Okay.
Yeah, like, I think a lot of people are scared of like public speaking or singing.
Well, it is a big fear.
I was like really afraid. Like, I think because I cared. I cared about, I wanted to do well, and it was important to me, and I wanted to succeed. I didn't want to like mess up and then be like, oh God, I'm not very good. So there's a lot of weight on me, It was like an opportunity, and also a lot of social, I guess, judgment. It wasn't as big as it was in my head, but in my head it was massive, It really was.
Crazy, yeah? Because everybody just looks around and they're like, oh, there's a guy singing. Oh,
yeah, no one's thinking that.
And then and we freak out in our heads.
Yeah. But I was really nervous, at first. And now I feel like I can be myself a lot more consistently. I think most of the time I am myself.
Yeah.
I feel like there's still a lot to learn. And like you say, if I got on a bigger stage, I don't know how I'd be and stuff, but I think I'd be way more. I actually think the smaller venues, it's harder to just be yourself sometimes because like it's so intimate.
Yeah.
So that's definitely one of the things I think I've progressed the most in, is just being able to relax.
Relax with it.
Yeah. I remember just busking when I was younger, like I'd be terrified. Like,
yeah, well, but for me, it's just a sick feeling in the stomach. It's not that but my brain seems to be quite relaxed with it or so. I think I'm not too...
Your brain's not worrying about what people are thinking or that stuff, no?
Well, that's not true, because sometimes in the gig, if it goes wrong or so, then all of a sudden I have changed career and I am going to,
Yeah.
That is true. The mind does do work tricks with you. This is true, actually, yeah.
It's like a very... I always say it's one of the most... it's probably not one of the most up and down jobs, but definitely it is an up and down.
It's very intense.
It's intense.
Yeah.
And to me, like when I said about having a break and taking a break from gigging, it is that intensity that I need a break from. Like everyone looking at you and you performing, like it's amazing. Like it's lovely to be the center of attention and doing your thing. But there's two sides to that coin, because it's also like you're vulnerable and also and again, this is just in your own head. No one else is thinking like, oh, he's a bit tired today, like he sucks, But in your head, like there's pressure to do well. And if you can't, then it's like, oh no, I'm like, everyone can see this, Don't know. And that can be taxing.
Yeah.
Day after day. Yeah. It's intense.
I know, I just kick the sound. I love the sound. And every time you do a song that you want to make it as good as possible, that gets me high, I think. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
But you do need people for it, because if you do it on the top of a mountain...
Not the same.
No.
I was speaking about this with Becky the other day. When you're playing and you're in it and you're in that sort of like flow state. Because the other day I was playing and I was so in it and it felt so good. Like you're not thinking about anything. You're just in it. And it's like, I don't know, just like pure, it's just like good bliss, And I was thinking, do you need an audience to have that? But I remember, there's times when I practice or record and stuff and I have that same experience. You're just expressing, just in it. But that is still different to when you're with an audience slightly, because when it's shared, it's like we're all in this together. Yeah. There's something extra.
And even if you record or something, then often I imagine an audience, or if I'm practicing or so, I still imagine that there is an audience.
Ah, do you?
Because it gives me a bigger buzz. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, just playing for my own, for example, I never sing. I just play guitar.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I just don't bother. No, I hardly sing, actually.
See, that's the difference. I feel like I've always identified more as a singer than a guitarist. And I would sing by myself, but I'd just play the guitar to support the singing. If I was going to like express myself, I'd play the guitar to practice. I wouldn't play the guitar because I'm like, I just want to get get this out. Do you know what I mean? So I guess that's the opposite. You'd play the guitar because you're like, I want to enjoy it.
I'm a guitar player who has to sing on the side.
Yeah, and I'm a singer that has.
I feel often better when I play together with the singer, because then that job someone else has, and I can focus. I really like
the opposite again. Like I like it like when Tasia plays the keyboard and I sing. I really like that, but I still hold the guitar for safety. Because I'm used to it, and I feel naked with it. Like, I can't. I don't know what to do with my hands when I'm singing. I like standing there like stiff, or with playing with Joelle when he plays guitar. I like it. I like being, with you, like I like being accompanied.
Yeah, but you always had the guitar.
And it's like, but I normally have it with me. Yeah, because it's like, I don't know.
I was a singer in a band once. At the front,
just singing?
And I had to stand there and not hold the guitar. It was really weird. God. Oh, it was terrible. No, it wasn't terrible, but it was
different.
Yeah, I should show you the pictures sometimes. Let's cringe together. Anyway,
video you got or picture? You say?
No, we don't have a video anymore.
Oh, that's not interesting. No. I don't want to see a picture. I want to hear the video. Hear the video. I want to see and hear it.
Oh, I'm so young and
live.
Oh God, 80s, you know.
Yeah.
With the haircuts and all that stuff. That was really, really bad.
But yeah, it's an up and down job, but it's amazing, and like we can't complain. It's definitely one of the best jobs going. Yeah. I remember when I was young watching these like talent shows, you know, like X Factor and Britain's Got Talent and stuff like that. And my heart would just like be like burning, like, I want to sing, you know? Like I just want to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd love it. And then like the day after I'd be like, what's my passion? What do I want to do in my life? And now it's so obvious. Like, I want to do music. It's so obvious. But I don't know if I used to block out the possibility of being able to be a musician. I used to think you're either Jimi Hendrix or nothing. Yeah. Do you know, I didn't think it was possible. I didn't know there's a whole spectrum of people making music, doing gigs or making their own music or doing weddings or teaching. I didn't really, no one ever tells you that at school.
No, you just think says, famous or not. It's like, And
I remember at school, that same time period where I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, going to like the careers advisor at school, because they'd have like this careers person that tells you like what you could do, looking at your grades and stuff. And I was like, I loved school and I was academic and I really just enjoyed studying and stuff. Yeah. And I think my brain suited that kind of like learning. I just had a good time. And they looked at me and they're like, you could do anything. But that was the worst thing I could hear, because I didn't want to be able, I wanted them to tell me like, you should do this, you know? And I was like, just give me some guidance. You could do anything was like, just sent me into like an existential crisis. Like, oh God, what am I supposed to do? But now looking back, it's like, God, I should have known that I wanted to do music.
Looking back at you,
my heart would just burn,
that it's always there, isn't it? Yeah.
You can always connect the dots looking backwards.
I saw once, it was when I was a young kid, and there was a video of Billy Joel's Piano Man. Yeah. And it was literally a guy in a bar playing the piano. And when I saw that, I thought, that's me. I remember that. I remember that moment going like, that's me.
Really?
I want that job.
No, that's nice.
But again, it's like, even though you now I remember it very clearly as a realization, but at that time you don't. Yeah. And you still think, I better study this and trying to get a job here or whatever, you know, get all kinds of crazy jobs. But now in the end, it's music.
When did you know you wanted to be a musician, or did you just stumble upon it?
No, doing music is just because you love music, and as soon as you start to play and then you start performing for people. But to really become a musician, to choose for the profession of being a musician, I was 26, so it's really quite late. Okay. Before that, I had all kinds of things. I did other jobs and also studies.
But you're still doing music, but in the same way you didn't know it was possible.
I was doing music, but more as the hobby, on the side, you know. Yeah. And then at one point I was really like, that's the only thing that really makes me happy, and I got to go for it. And then I was 26.
If you weren't doing music, what do you think you would be doing? If you weren't being able to do it as a work?
Teach music.
Yeah. But say it was not music based, anything.
If you have to survive, you survive. You know what I mean?
But is there anything that's like I know what I would. People ask me this, and I know what I would.
Oh, go on.
Well, I always say this. I mean, I don't know if it's true, but I really love nutrition and like health and stuff. And I was thinking about being a nutritionist or something. Okay. So, and I love that. I love learning about like what's good for this and what's good for your brain. But I'd like to do it in a way that sort of like optimizes nutrition, not in a way that's like, because there's things like dietitian and stuff like curing people, which is interesting. Not that I don't want to cure people, but what really gets me excited is like nutrition for like athletes or something. You know, like how can I optimize this, or for their brain, like for someone that's like, I don't know, doing something really like a chess master. How can they optimize their brain by eating well? I don't know. That excites me a lot.
Cool.
I'd still rather do music, but if that was
there's no it's a hypothetical question.
It's hypothetical,
really.
Yeah.
There's no way back, is there?
And that was my problem with like when I say about this existential phase. So just bring it back to that. Was that I had a lot of interests. Like I loved nutrition. I loved biology.
Yeah.
I really love maths. I know that you love maths as well. Like I really just genuinely enjoyed maths, like the puzzles of it. But I couldn't really imagine a job in maths, but I loved it. And I love traveling, and I'm interested in like business and marketing and stuff like that. And then I loved music, and I was like, God, what do I want to do? You know, like, can I merge all these things and stuff? And you can always, like, I'm interested in nutrition. I'm still interested in all those things. I love traveling.
Yeah.
But it sounds silly because like they're all good things, and some people don't know what they don't want to do. Some people have no idea what they want to do. But when I was trying to decide it, I was like, oh God, like all these paths are going to take me down a completely different life. What's the right one? You know, that's like an overwhelming feeling. But I'm really glad I came with this.
But I think it's also you could do them all, but not all of in as much as the other. How did you say it in English?
Yeah, maybe not all at once. And
but you still use all these other interests as well.
Yeah,
and it's still there.
They don't have to be your job as well. You can still do things without them being your job.
Exactly.
Yeah. Nice. Eric, should we wrap it up?
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up. Any final words?
And now the time is near.
No, Eric, tell people. This is what people do on other podcasts. This is like a podcast. Tell people where they can find you. Would you want to promote anything? Any books coming up? No, but seriously, where can people
No, I just keep rummaging around. I just like I'm a small scale guy, and I just like to work on my music, and you know what I mean. I am doing a lot of recording and composing and so on. These things I really like doing that.
And it's all on Eric Corralejo YouTube.
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah,
Search
Eric Corralejo. Yeah. If you Google Eric Corralejo, you'll find it.
And Eric's now doing live streams where he walks around Corralejo and streams. He's just telling me about that, like with a Bluetooth sound signal.
You know, there's something, you know this as well. Well, if you play, you can sit on the bench and look at the sea, and it's beautiful. But you can sit on the bench and play a guitar and look at the sea, and there's something extra. It's that's certain magic.
Yeah.
And that I'd like to kind of recreate. And that's I love sitting somewhere and just playing the guitar, because then life is just becomes a documentary almost, you know.
Yeah.
And
live, which is awesome.
And life is life is always it's something special, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people, where can people see that anyway? Because also, like, I want to everywhere on your Facebook.
Yeah.
All right. Eric Sijpestijn. If you can spell that, you can find it.
No,
you've earned it. You can spell
Eric
that.
Corralejo, that's
Eric
right.
Corralejo.
Sijpestijn is ridiculous.
Yeah,
isn't
Eric
it?
Corralejo.
Actually, for
I'm
years,
Kazanowski, so
yeah, that's true.
it's just as bad.
Yeah,
I think Sijpestijn's worse actually, because you've got some like silent J's in there and stuff.
Yeah, but I like the ski. That's cool.
I like Sijpestijn as well. I'm just saying the spelling.
Yeah. We sound a bit like mad scientists, don't we, instead of musicians?
Eric Sijpestijn, Eric Kazanowski. Maybe that's what we should have been.